Stackers, Big Stack McGee here. How are you doing today? It is Sunday, February 13th, Super Bowl Sunday here, and not that I'm really going to pay much attention to the game, but it'll be fun to hang out with family and all that kind of business. It's also the day before Valentine's Day, and normally I try to make these videos on Saturdays when I have a little bit of extra time in the afternoon. But last night we had a kind of a cool family time, and I'm not sure if any of you are up on some of the new shows that are out, but my kids are really into this Book of Boba Fett that was on. So we watched a show featuring this little guy here, so it was fun. Although I was chomping at the bit to be able to open up this package because very rarely when I make my purchases, sometimes silver can flash crash down a little bit, and I'm able to get in an order. And this is one of those times where, if I correct me if I'm wrong, but as of Sunday afternoon before the markets open, I think silver's like in the mid 23s, and this was a $22 purchase, and that I was able to get. One of those where I know I want to buy something, I'm kind of in a hurry. So a go-to search for me is I like to purchase stuff from bullion dealers on eBay. And of course, I also will go to actual the bullion dealers themselves and order. But what I like about this is that it's almost always free shipping. If I order directly from like a bullion dealer, I usually end up going the check route because I don't like having to pay the fees and all that kind of stuff. You get a discount on making either a withdrawal from your checking account or whatever it is, right? But if I'm in a hurry, searching for the best prices on eBay usually points me in the right direction. So what I'll tend to do is I'll go on there, I'll search for the quantity that I'm looking for, that I choose buy it now, and then I choose show lowest prices first, and I can scroll right to where spot price is at, and then I go from there on and find out what the cheapest sources is. So I was able to get a nice silver bar here that's going to be new for my stack at basically the cheapest prices that I could find for silver at the time. So I'm going to go ahead and rip into this, and then we'll talk about what we have. Okay, so what we have here is a JBR Recovery LTD 1 kilogram silver bar. Love the kilo size. Feels so darn heavy in the hand, especially for the compact size that it is. Some interesting textures here in the back. This is like a brushed silver finish. Not sure about that kind of stamping here at the bottom. I don't know if they took out silver there and they cleaned it up, but even the sides, you can tell that this looks like probably poured and then like polished up, because it does have lines in there. Usually if it's poured, you see lines like that, usually it's a little bit more pronounced in there, but this has been definitely polished up, and like I said, it looks a little bit like brushed there. It is serialized. JBR is a brand that's new to me, but it's very, very smooth in the hand, and obviously very compact and heavy. So love the kilo bar size. I might have to do an update of the side-by-sides, the kilos in my collection for that. But, yeah, so there we go. Another little bit more than 32 ounces of silver for the stack, and it always feels good when you can pick it up when you make your monthly purchases or whatever. I tend to dollar cost average, and take the money that I'm going to be spending towards silver and gold and all of that, and spreading that out month by month to help. Sometimes it's up, sometimes it's down, and it averages over the time. But this is a very nice bar. I really like this one. I think my last kilo that I picked up was a Perth mint, and that's very, very nice as well. So it'd be neat to see this and that side by side, to kind of see where things are at. And believe it or not, I do have more silver on the way as well. I'm going to continue my my quarter stacking, and I've been eager to finish that particular project up, so I'm pretty excited about that as well. A little bit about just some financial stuff. Boy, markets don't know what to do. You know, a lot of fluctuation in the stock market, and of course, inflation is sky high and climbing. It'll be really interesting to see how things all kind of pan out. I think I've mentioned in the last couple videos that I took a lot of my cash and stashed it away in some Series I savings bonds, because at the time, even as of last fall, you know, they were pegging a 7.15 interest rate. And for money that's just going to be basically part of my long-term cash holdings, emergency, call it what you want, better have it sitting in that than sitting in even just whether it's cash form or a savings account, which is yielding really nothing much for interest. So at least on a 6 month by 6 month basis, it's kind of like making some short-term decisions to park some money there. But one of the things I also did was I do invest in the stock market here and there, in addition to my metals holdings and stuff as part of a total package. It's got some real estate involved as well. But when we got to the end of the fiscal year, or excuse me, the end of the calendar year for the markets, I ended up pulling almost all of my index funds out that I had in the S&P and things like that, because it just seemed like there's very little upside. And we had such an incredible run with money being just constantly injected into the economy. And so I've been sitting with that money on the sideline and thinking, if I can get a 10 or 12% correction, it might be time to put some of that back in. So right now I'm still kind of sitting at the wayside. I think it's down around 7% on the year so far, and so I'm not sure. I'm curious if there's any of you that are doing something similar, and kind of what's the bottom that you're looking for before you start putting some of that money back in. But just so you know, here's how I'm going to kind of handle it. Just like I kind of dollar cost average my bars, what I do is I take the money that I have set aside in some of my own personal retirement accounts, and I'll put a little bit in, so I'll take maybe 30% of the holdings, buy back into those index funds. I'm not one for buying individual stocks. I just don't know enough about it. But I do like the S&P is a good one. So I'll put that in there, and then if it drops dramatically, then I have another 60 or 70% I could use to buy lower and or buy back in as things show strong. But right now, you can tell there's a lot of uneasiness and unrest in terms of the prices whether it's at the stores or prices at the pumps, and I feel like you're going to see a big reflection in some volatility and chaos in the markets this year. So I'm really glad to kind of be pulled out from that. But obviously no one knows what's going to happen tomorrow, much less a week or a month or a year from now. But I am more of a take it easy and play it safe, less risky kind of investor, especially at the age that I'm at. But and I know there's some of you watching this that you wouldn't touch the stock market with a 10-foot pole. Totally get it. But I think there's just lots of ways in terms of building wealth, and so I try to utilize every option that's available to me for that. So just curious what your thoughts are if you are into that. But back to the silver. Let's see if I can get that nice silver ring there. I really like the feel of this bar. Let me give you one more. Pass over JBR. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of that brand or not. Yeah, pretty happy with this pickup. Very nice. All right. So like I said, 32 ounces of silver for the stack. For me, I would love to be able to do a silver bar update. I've been talking to my wife about it, trying to find time. But there's multiple factors involved in terms of trying to get it all in the same place at the same time. So that's the biggest issue. Otherwise, I would love to just go and do that. As I've mentioned before, I don't my children know that I buy silver and gold, and they know the reasons for it. They know why I believe the intrinsic value and all that stuff. but they don't know how much we have or even where we have it all at the moment. So I don't feel like sitting at home, and I clearly don't want to bring it here to my office. So I got to find a way to get them out of the house, and maybe I can have my wife take them out to eat and bowling or something like that, and I do a quick bar update. But again, I still have to go and collect it all and bring it, so it's just a little bit awkward. I know I've been mentioning for a couple months that I want to do that, so I'm on it. I will get to that as soon as I can. But now with this pickup, I feel like we're right around 1,100 ounces of silver bars, so it would be really cool to kind of see those all laid out, because every silver bar I've ever bought, I still have for the last almost decade. So very cool. That's all I've got for you today. Thanks for checking this out. This is Big Stack McGee, and whether you're a football fan and watching the Super Bowl, or whether you have something great planned for your significant other for Valentine's Day, I hope you have a great week. So take care and stack on. We'll talk soon.